Millions gamble for dreams on the Las Vegas Strip. But just beneath the neon, over 1,000 people call a hidden network of storm drains home. Rising rents, collapsing wages, and shuttered businesses have forced former casino workers and veterans underground. But the city's most shocking secret is how fast you could end up there. What is Las Vegas really hiding beneath its dazzling surface? Beneath the Strip's shimmering lights, a hidden world stretches for over 600 miles, nearly 1,000 kilometers, of storm drains and flood tunnels. This labyrinth, engineered in the 1990s to protect the city from flash floods, now shelters an underground community that most visitors never imagine exists. Every year, more than 30 million people walk above these tunnels, their footsteps echoing through thick concrete just feet above makeshift beds and scattered belongings. In the darkness below, an estimated 1,200 to 1,500 people carve out lives in the margins of Las Vegas. Some once mixed drinks for tourists, worked the card tables, or poured concrete for the very hotels that now tower overhead. Others, including U.S. military veterans, find themselves here after support systems failed or affordable housing disappeared. Rob spent more than 2 years living in the tunnels after losing his home. He describes the first time stepping down into the cool, dark corridor. It's got a roof. It's out of the sun. It was a community. The air is heavy and still. Cardboard and plywood become walls. Old furniture and plastic bins line the edges, each pile telling a story of survival and sudden loss. The tunnel network twists beneath casinos, highways, and neighborhoods, with entrances hidden behind drainage grates and concrete embankments. Paths fork and vanish into blackness, broken only by the glow of a flashlight or the flicker of a candle. The people here are not just statistics, they are former neighbors, co-workers, and parents. Some drifted down after a medical bill or a layoff. Others, like Jay, a former hotel worker, battle health setbacks and addiction in the shadows. The tunnels offer shelter from the desert's brutal sun and the Strip's relentless noise, but they also hold dangers, darkness, isolation, and the constant threat of water roaring in without warning. In this world, the line between the city's spectacle and its emergency is only a few feet of concrete thick. Across Las Vegas, the cost of a one-bedroom apartment has soared to over $1,700 a month, an amount that now outstrips the average monthly Social Security check. For many, wages have failed to keep pace. Food and energy prices have jumped 20 to 30% since 2020, while local paychecks lag behind both inflation and the national average. The math no longer adds up for workers who once made a living serving tourists on the Strip or building the very skyline that made Las Vegas famous. Small businesses, once the backbone of local neighborhoods, have shuttered in waves. Between 2020 and 2024, thousands closed their doors for good as operating costs rose by 40%. Strip malls that once buzzed with diners, barbershops, and corner stores now stand empty, their windows covered with dust and fading for lease signs. Local foot traffic has dropped by half, leaving business owners without customers and employees without jobs. Families, unable to afford even basic expenses, have begun to leave Nevada altogether, heading for Utah, Idaho, or Arizona in search of something more stable. The fallout is visible in every corner of the city. Schools lose students as families move away or double up with relatives. Houses sit vacant and attract crime, while once thriving neighborhoods grow quiet. The city's surface may glitter at night, but underneath, the economic foundation is cracking. For those left behind, the choice is no longer between luxury and necessity, it is between rent and survival. With each price hike, more people are forced to look for shelter wherever they can find it, even if that means moving underground. Seniors in Las Vegas now make up more than 1/5 of the city's population. But for many, retirement has become a daily test of endurance rather than a time of rest. The wait for subsidized housing stretches from 12 to 18 months, leaving older adults in limbo. Some push shopping carts loaded with belongings through the heat, rationing heart medication or skipping meals to stretch their fixed incomes. The promise of a safe place to age quietly slips away as rents rise and affordable options vanish. Help of Southern Nevada, one of the city's largest outreach groups, reports that most people seeking help are turned away, not for lack of need, but because there simply aren't enough beds or resources. Only a fraction, less than 40%, of those who lose their homes ever receive enough support to find stability again. For families, the gap is even sharper. Shelters fill quickly, and parents sometimes face the choice of splitting up or sleeping in cars to keep their children safe. Birthdays and holidays pass in parking lots or borrowed motel rooms, the routines of childhood replaced by uncertainty. For many, the lack of a stable address means losing more than just comfort. Without identification, it becomes nearly impossible to access benefits, apply for jobs, or even enter some shelters. Addiction often follows or deepens as people try to manage pain and stress with whatever they can find. A help spokesperson describes the cycle. We see people lose their ID in a flood or sweep, and suddenly they can't get medication, can't get work, can't get help. That's when things spiral. These stories are not rare exceptions. They are the quiet reality for hundreds of seniors, parents, and children. The tunnels beneath the Strip offer the last shelter for those who have run out of options above ground. Each face in the darkness carries a history, a hope, and a reminder that the city's greatest gamble is being played by those with the least to lose. In the tunnels beneath Las Vegas, life is always one warning away from disaster. City sweeps come with little notice. Teams of police and sanitation workers arrive at dawn, clearing encampments and tossing everything into garbage trucks. Identification cards, prescription bottles, family photos, gone in minutes. For residents, losing an ID means more than just paperwork. It severs access to food banks, shelters, and medical care. Many are forced deeper into the tunnel system, further from outreach and farther from safety. Above ground, the heat builds quickly. By midday in July and August, temperatures soar past 110 degrees. Each summer, dozens die from heat exposure across Clark County. The tunnels offer shade, but in the worst heat, the concrete turns into an oven. Emergency responders track a spike in calls as bodies succumb to dehydration and heat stroke, especially among those hidden from view. The city posts warnings, but the message rarely reaches those living below. Then comes the other threat: rain. It doesn't take much. On August 11, 2022, a sudden storm hit the valley. Within 10 minutes, water began pouring into the tunnels, feeding the Flamingo Wash. Residents inside had no warning. Rob, who had lived in the tunnels for years, remembers the roar of water echoing through the concrete. It sounded like a freight train. You could feel the ground shaking before you saw the water. As the flood surged, water rose from ankle to chest height in less than 10 minutes. People scrambled for higher ground, grabbing what they could. Some made it to side passages. Others were swept away. Rescue logs from that night show police and firefighters pulling survivors from the rising current, but not everyone escaped. The exact number lost remains uncertain. Some names never make it onto official lists. In the aftermath, the tunnels were stripped bare. For those who survived, everything was gone. The only certainty left was that the next sweep or the next storm could be just around the corner. Every year, over 30 million people visit Las Vegas, but official estimates show that 1,200 to 1,500 people live in the city's storm-drained tunnels beneath the Strip. This network, built for flood control in the 1990s, now shelters those left behind by rising rents, stagnant wages, and disappearing neighborhoods. Despite generating over $55 billion annually from tourism, Las Vegas faces a shortage of affordable housing, with wait lists stretching up to 18 months. City sweeps and flash floods continue to displace and endanger residents underground, while the true number of those lost to these hazards remains unreported. The exact scale of the crisis is still unclear, as many stories go undocumented. What is certain is that the city's surface prosperity rests on the hidden struggles below. Without significant policy change, the humanitarian emergency beneath Las Vegas will only grow.